Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be discussing one of the most creative and colorful topics in English, the figures of speech. So, this lesson will help us understand how writers and speakers use language in imaginative ways to make their ideas more expressive and meaningful. So, let's start with a simple question. Have you ever heard someone say, "Time is gold"? Of course, it is very common. Or "my heart is broken." We know that time isn't literally made of gold and that a heart doesn't really break like a glass. Yet, we understand exactly what those sentences mean. That's because they are examples of figures of speech. So, figures of speech are expressions that go beyond the literal meaning of words. Instead of saying something in a plain and direct way, we use figures of speech to make our language more creative, emotional, and powerful. So, they add beauty and depth to poems, songs, stories, and even everyday conversations. Okay, so um, there are many types of figures of speech, but today we'll focus on the most common ones: the simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, onomatopoeia, and oxymoron. So let's discuss each one. First is simile. A simile compares two different things using the words like or as. So it helps us imagine something more clearly by showing similarities. So for example, her smile is as bright as the sun. The girl's smile is being compared to the brightness of the sun, showing how cheerful it is. So another example, he runs like a cheetah. So this means he runs very fast. So remember, similes always use like or as. So second, is metaphor. A metaphor also compares two things but without using like or as. Instead, it says that one thing is another to emphasize a shared quality. So, for example, time is a thief. So, this means time passes quickly and takes away our moments just like a thief takes away valuables. So, another example, the world is a stage. So, this shows that life is like a performance where everyone plays a role. Third is personification. So this figure of speech gives human qualities to animals, objects, or ideas. It makes things that aren't human seem alive or capable of human actions. So for example, the wind whispered through the trees. Of course, the wind can't really whisper, but personification makes the description more vivid. So another example, the sun smiled down on us. So this creates a warm, happy image. Okay. So the fourth is hyperbole. Hyperbole means exaggeration. It's used to express strong emotion or to create a dramatic effect. So, for example, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. You don't really mean that, you just want to show how hungry you are. So, another example, I waited for a million years. That exaggeration helps show how long something felt. Okay, so fifth is onomatopoeia. So this is a fun figure of speech because it uses words that imitate actual sounds. So for example, include buzz, splash, bang, clap, and boom. So these words make description more lively. So for instance, the bees buzzed around the flowers, or the thunder went boom in the night. Lastly, we have the oxymoron. An oxymoron is a combination of two opposite or contrasting words placed together to create a striking effect. So, for example, bittersweet memories. Here, bitter and sweet are opposites, but together they describe something both sad and happy. Another example, deafening silence. So the silence is so intense that it almost feels loud. Now that we've discussed each type, let's review with a quick summary. Okay? So simile, it compares using like or as. Metaphor compares directly without like or as. Personification gives human traits to non-human things. Next is hyperbole. Uses exaggeration or emphasis. So next is we have your onomatopoeia, uses words that imitate sounds. Oxymoron combines opposite words for effect. Okay, so figures of speech are everywhere in poems, songs, advertisements, and daily speech. They make our language more expressive, emotional, and artistic. Instead of saying the night is dark, we can say the night wrapped me in its velvet arms. Instead of he's sad, we can say his heart is a storm. So these creative expressions make communication not just informative but memorable. Okay, all in all, figures of speech help us paint pictures with words. They allow us to express ideas in deeper, more imaginative ways. So the next time you read a poem, listen to a song, or even write a simple sentence, try to notice or use a figure of speech. So it's a beautiful way to turn ordinary words into like a work of an art. So that ends our discussion for today. So thank you for listening and have a blessed and good day. So bye.